Good morning, students. How are you? I hope everyone is fine and taking care of themselves as well as your youngers and senior ones, your parents, anyone at home. This is a critical time and we have to be very careful. At the same time, we have to improve our skills, our caliber at home itself. Okay? And follow one motto in your life, that is be good, do good, and make others to do good. Follow that motto. We talk about goodness today. Goodness, what actually goodness is? Can you tell? Okay, you may say, ma'am, goodness is doing good to others, thinking good about others. Is that so? Yes, a number of you may be saying the same. But if you are very good, you are very good to others, you behave well, okay. But at certain time, a time comes when you see something wrong is happening in front of you, but you do not stop that. Is that goodness? Certainly not. That is not goodness. You have to stop the wrong as well as you have to do also. You have to stop also. So this is our topic of today, what we talk about. That is goodness, or because of goodness, because of wrong tasks done. Okay, what happens when the wrong things are doing? What actual word is given to that wrong things done with other people? We say that bullying. Okay, that is called bullying. Have you heard this word? I may have heard a number of times. You are given instructions in schools. Even in instructions in schools, it is always mentioned, don't bully each other. And that's a crime also. Okay, and bullying we all know. A number of times we tease each other, or we hit each other, or we may just speak such words which affects the mind. Such words which are wrong, which should not be spoken, that is also bullying. So this bullying has a very bad effect on us. Bullying, not only that, I always say, no ma'am, I never do bullying. Maybe I'm very good, I never bully with others, but when I see some person hitting other, or when I see a child, friend of mine is speaking wrong words to my other colleague, other companion, so is that goodness? Not at all. So what my motto, what my role at that time should be, stop that bullying. At your efforts, you have to make them stop doing with other children. Okay, that is also part of goodness. So bullying, when is being done, you may have seen what happens. That affects our mind, our body. This mind is badly affected. Yes, my dear children, mind is affected. Body physically, so we are having a number of problems. So how mind is affected? It is affected because what happened when naturally something wrong is happening with you. Someone is saying wrong words to you, or someone is secretly something is being done with other child to bully him, to tease him, to make him to do anything wrong with him. What happened with that particular person? He becomes depressed. He goes in depression. He feels anxiety. There is always anxiety. The person remains anxious all the time. He's never happy. So this is a bad effect what bullying does. And then loss of interest. That particular person who is bullied by others, or what happens with him? That there is loss of interest. He never take care of anything. Even his physical appearance also he never takes care. And he lost the interest in studies as well. Then decrease academic achievements. Yes, a number of times you may have seen particular person was very good at studies any times, but after some time what happens? Nothing is known by other people what happened, but that particular person deteriorates in his academic achievements. So what so happened? If anyone find out the cause, that may be reason of bullying. There may be a reason of bullying. So bad is the bullying. And then he misses school. Naturally, if the child is being bullied in the school, he will not come to the school. He will avoid the school. He will use that he does not go to the school. So badly is the mind hampered, or mind is affected of that particular person. Now body physically also that person is very getting the many problems, health issues, many health issues, maybe stomach upset or maybe other diseases he start getting in his body, because mind is not healthy, naturally the body will not be healthy. Eating pattern changes, loss of food, a loss of eatables, he do not want to, loss of appetite, that is loss of appetite, he doesn't want to eat anything more, or forcefully the parents ask him to eat and he eats something. So loss of appetite is there, and effects on his growth. If the child is in such a age, if he is a person who is maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th or 9th, so what will happen with him? He will not grow properly. His physical growth will not be as proper as it should have been. Okay, so such bad is the bullying. So I told you, bullying, when the person is bullying to others, when one person is bullying to other, naturally that other person will be affected badly. But the person who is bullying to that, okay, suppose I am bullying to those people, those are already getting the problems, okay, they are depressed, but will I be happy? Not at all. So same problem I will also be getting. The person who bullies each other, the person who is teasing other, the person who is giving trouble to other, he also gets the same problems as that person who is bullied by him. So this wrong happens to him also. He may be having a loss of interest in academics, he may be having loss of appetite, he may be having any other disease, because of, he may go in depression, he may start taking alcohol, he may start taking any other wrong thing. Okay, so both are affected. So bad is bullying for anyone. Okay, so this is what I talked today. Now, why I was talking this topic today and explaining this topic, because this is the theme of our chapter, our next chapter, which we are going to do from first slide, that is chapter 5. Okay, the 100 dresses. 100 dresses. Okay, this is the chapter we are going to do today. Okay, so this is same thing. There is a girl, Wanda. Okay, she is also same bullying, that problem of bullying she is facing, same problem in her class. And how does she suffer? How does she face those obstacles, those troubles given by her classmates? How she comes out of that? So that story, that chapter 5, 100 dresses, this theme also is very important. When you will progress through the chapter, you will come to know why this title is given to this chapter 100 dresses. Okay, let's start with the chapter now. Okay, so now let's start with this chapter number 5, the 100 dresses 1. Okay. This chapter is written by Illinois States. This is a writer who has written, most of the works are written for the children. Okay, so here also this chapter is dealing with the student story, one of the most important story of her. Let's read about the chapter. First we read about the problem which is being talked in the chapter. This chapter basically, let's read the introduction. The Polish American community in the United States. Polished. If you can see this word Polish, let me explain. Actually this Polish word, Polish people were the people who came from Poland. Okay, so Poland, these people came and they immigrated to America, United States. So these people, they were called Poland people who migrated from Poland to America. They were known as Polish people. Okay, and because they were Polish people, they were from other country, they were of different religion, different culture. So Americans did not accept them. So they were bullied by these people, by the Americans, a number of problems they faced. Let's start. The first Polish immigrant arrived in America in 1608. But the largest wave of Polish immigration occurred in the early 20th century when more than 1 million Poles migrated to the United States. Polish, now see, so many people, they have migrated to United States, America. Okay, so many people came there. So Polish state did not exist at that time. So the migrants were identified according to their country or origin rather than to ethnicity. ethnicity, their casteism. So most of the people were identified according to their from where they have come. So they were known from that country, from name of that country. So those who have migrated, is those who left their country and reached to other country. So now they were identified as so different poles, and they were identified as Russian Poles, German Poles, and Austrian Poles. Poles again, the people who are coming from, who came from the other countries, who were migrated. So those people who came from Russia, they were known as Russian Poles. Those who came from they were known as German Poles, and those who came from Australia, they were known as Austrian Poles. So they were given different names here in America. They were known with that because they were not the citizens of this country. So one of the most notable Polish American communities is in Chicago and its suburbs. Suburbs are the areas which are near the near any outside any city or any town. Okay, any residential area. So Chicago is sometimes called the second largest Polish this is, let's see this line, second largest Polish city in the world. Okay, so which city is known? Chicago, because most of the migrants who came, they went to Chicago, and this is the second largest Polish city called in this country. So next only to Warsaw. Next is the Warsaw, capital of Poland, which is in Poland. And Polish Americans were sometimes discriminated against in the United States, as were the Irish, Italians, and Jews. So all those who came from other countries, so everyone was discriminated. So they were not given equal rights, they were not allowed to do all the things all equally like Americans, because they were the citizens of other country. So according to United States 2000 census, 16 by 414 Americans of age 5 years and older reported Polish as the language spoken at home, which is about 1.4% of the people who speak languages other than English, or 0.25% of the US population. So those people who came from outside, they were 25.25%, or they consist the population of 0.25% in United States. So most of the people were here migrated in this country. So this is all about how Polish people came and how they were known in that country. Now let's start with the story from here about Wanda. Today, Monday, Wanda Petronsky. This is name of that girl whose story we are going to start. Wanda Petronsky. This is the main character here. She was not in her seat, but nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline, the girls who started all the fun. So another characters are Peggy, and third one is Madeline. Okay, so these three characters are being talked here. Wanda, who is a migrant to America, who is a Polish girl, she hasn't come today in the school. Okay, and her presence is not noticed by anyone because of any reasons. It is not known, but nobody, even Peggy and Madeline, these are the citizens of this country only, these girls. So these girls who started all the fun, they made fun of this girl Wanda Petronsky. Notice her absence, though they daily made fun of her, but they also did not notice that Wanda has not come on that day to school. Usually Wanda sat in the next seat to the last seat, in the last row in room number 13. So this was room number 13 where their classes were held. So they used to sit, the girls used to sit in that room number 13, and she used to sit on the last seat. Wanda, because she was separate, made to sit separate, or she herself sat separate, so she was on the last seat, always sitting on the last seat. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat. So rough boys are the naughty boys. So she always sat in one corner of the room anywhere where all the naughty boys, who all the times they did mischiefs, good marks sat, who all the time they did mischiefs, and the corner of the room where their most scuffling of feet. Okay, so now this girl who was sitting on the last bench, so this here mostly the naughty boys used to sit. So now, when what did they do? Scuffling. Scuffling here. This word scuffling is making noise. Noise by dragging the feet or the movement of the feet. So these boys, they keep on creating sound while sitting at the last benches. So most roars of laughter when anything was funny said, and most mud and dirt on the floor. So these children, they all the time they made noise whenever any study was going on. They created disturbance, and they made the place muddy. Maybe muddy, why muddy word is used here? Maybe because these children mostly were Polish people. They may not have been very rich, or they may have come by feet to school, or maybe because of any reason, so those mud and dust was scattered with their shoes or tapping of their feet, so they made the floor dirty with tapping their feet. Okay, so now let's start the next slide. Wanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. So now Wanda used to sit on the last bench, but here we should not misunderstand that she was rough. She was not naughty also. She was not noisy also. She did not sit because of these reasons. On the contrary, on the opposite, why she sat? She was very quiet and rarely quiet girl. She was very quiet girl. Rarely she said anything at all. She never spoke anything wrong to anyone. She was a good girl, and nobody had ever heard all her laugh out loud. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into crooked sort of smile, but that was all. A number of times she was seen just smiling over for anything, but she never talked too much with anyone. Okay, she was very quiet girl. Nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat, unless it was because she came all the way from Boggin Heights. Now, she was a resident of Boggin Heights. A place was there in that country, in that city, and she lived in that place, Boggin Heights. And her feet were usually caked with dry mud. So now, because she came by feet, and so what happened, maybe it was a muddy area, so when she came to school, her feet were caked is layer of mud was there on her feet, and that's why her feet were muddy. But no one really thought much about Wanda Petronsky once she sat in the corner of the room. So when she was sitting, she sat, no one cared, because she was muddy, having muddy shoes most of the times, because she came by feet. But once she, maybe when she came inside, so maybe some of the students observed her, and that's maybe have the reason that she may be feeling embarrassing at that time. So that may be the reason that she always sat in the last bench, on the last bench of in the class. So now after she sat there, no one observed her, no one talked with her, no one said anything to her. She just sat there in the room. The time when they thought about Wanda. Now, when till now children did not take care when she was sitting on the last bench, but only time came when she was observed, when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours. So when she was given attention when school hours were over and she was going back at noon. Okay, when they were coming back, when all the children were coming back to the school, and in the morning early before school began, either they noticed her in the morning when she came, or they noticed her at the noon time when they came out of the school. So these were the timings when this girl was observed by the other people. And when group of 2 or 3, even more, would be talking or laughing on their way to the school. Yeah, so a number of people, the number of children used to laugh over her. Then sometime they waited for Wanda to have fun with her. So they, because she was a quiet girl, she never said anything, so she was bullied by these children. They always teased her, and she did not reply, but they waited, these naughty children, they wait for her to come so that they can speak anything wrong, anything to make fun of her. The next day, Tuesday, Wanda was not in the school. Either nobody noticed her absence again. Now, next day again, this was the second day when she did not come to school, and no one noticed that she was again absent, because no one cared for her actually. So 2 days gone, no one is caring that Wanda is coming to school or not, and 2 days have gone. But now the third day, what happened? But when Peggy, on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, these were two friends, Peggy and Maddie both were good friends, so they always lived together in the school, who sat down front with other children who got good marks, who did not track in the hole lots of mud. Did notice that Wanda wasn't there. So these Peggy and Maddie, they were the good students, and they always got good marks in the class. And though also they did not have muddy shoes also, so that's why they were at the front of the class all the times. And only these two girls only noticed that Wanda was not coming for the third day. So Peggy was the most popular girl. Peggy, she is the most popular girl in the school. She was very pretty. See her appearance, very pretty. She had many pretty clothes and her hair was curly. So maybe she was from the good family, from a good family, American good family. So she was all the time neat and clean. And her close friend, Maddie was her close friend. And the reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence was because Wanda had made them late to school. So these two friends, maybe they used to comment over her. So they waited for her early morning that she will come, they will speak something, and then they will be there to start the day for studying. So when they waited for her for the third day, she was not there and they became late. They were late to the school. So then they noticed that she was not coming. This was the third day and she's not coming. What happened? So now they had waited for Wanda to have some fun with her, and she hadn't come. They often waited for Wanda Petronsky to have fun with her. So this was all their habit. So all the times they used to wait for her. These all girls, what they used to do, they made fun of this Wanda Petronsky. They were all the times whenever she came in the morning, they commented over her. So that's why they were waiting today also, but she did not come. So Wanda Petronsky, most of the children in the room 13 did not have names like that. And why did they make fun? The reason is given. Why did they do that? Wanda Petronsky, as the name suggests, that she was such a child in room number 13 who have a different name, who did not have the same name like other children. They had names easy to say like Tom, Smith, Allen. Those who are the American children, so they have the very easy names, and her name was different, Wanda Petronsky. It was a different name, so they used to make fun of her name. There was no one, but they were not made as fun as Wanda Petronsky. So she was made fun by these people for her name, having a strange name. So Wanda did not have any other friend. She came to school alone, went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that did not hang right. Okay, so now what happened? This girl, she's not having any friend. She was alone. Okay, so now what? And her physical appearance also was such that they always degraded the girl. They thought her that she maybe was a poor girl, and that may have been the reason that why she was bullied by these children. So she always, they thought like that, she always wore faded blue dress. There was only one blue dress with her, which was faded, and it did not hang right, and it did not even fit properly to her body, and it was clean. But though it was one dress only, faded dress only, but it was clean, and it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. Though it was clean, neat and clean, dress was neat and clean, but it was not pressed, ironed properly. It was a crushed one. She did not have any friend, and a lot of girls talked to her, but no friend of her, but a lot of girls talked to her. Why these girls talked to her? To make fun. Though a number of children talked to her, but she was made fun of by these people. And sometimes they surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching the little girls play. Then she was surrounded by other children when she went in the ground, as this happened normally when a child is weak, when his child is not defending. So what the other children do, they surround. Whenever they get a chance, they surround the child. So same was happening with Amanda when she went to school, in the school garden. Then also in the playground also, she was surrounded by other children, and they all made fun of her. So when she was watching the girls play hopscotch on the worn hard ground, when she went to ground and the girls were playing, then also she was made fun. She was not mixed up with our children. Hopscotch, here this word you see, you see that this is a game. Okay, this is a game which is played by making squares like that on the ground. Okay, so now this in this game also she was not made to participate, and she could not play with others. Wanda Peggy would say like that. So now, Wanda Peggy would say in most courteous manner, as though she were talking to Miss Mason. Okay, Miss Mason here is their teacher. Miss Mason, she was the teacher. So Wanda Peggy was very, otherwise she was a very polite, courteous girl, very polite, very respectfully, very she spoke to all, everyone, and she is called to Wanda also very politely, but it was having an ironical tone. As she talked to Mrs. Mason, her teacher, she always called her like that only. Wanda, she would say, giving one of her friends a nudge, and same time what she is doing, as she was a mischievous girl, what she is doing, she is giving a nudge, is a gentle push to make, when you gently push to your other friend while standing with your arm, and you, as if you are saying to your friend, see what I am going to tell now to her, what I am going to speak, to make fun of that girl. Okay, so she nudged her friend who was sitting and who was standing with her. Tell her, how many dresses did you say you had hang up in your closet? So this was the only question they asked to her. They always talked about her dresses, that how many dresses do you have, and how many are hanging in your closet, in your almirah, in your cupboard. So they always used to sit like that. And what was the answer of Wanda? 100, Wanda would say. And now Wanda, she, although she was being bullied by this girl, she knew that she was being fun was being made, so always, but she was very politely, she always answered, she always say that I am having 100 dresses. 100, exclaimed all the little girls incredulously, unbelievably, because they could not believe that she is always wearing one faded dress, blue colored dress, and she says she's having 100 dresses. How this is possible? Now yeah, 100 dresses all lined up. She's saying I'm having 100 dresses and all are lined up like that in a line, these all are hanging. She always said like that to these girls. Then her thin lip drew together in silence. What are they like? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. Now they are exaggerating the situation, they are not stopping there only, they are saying, okay, you have 100 dresses and maybe all maybe of silk, I bet you may be having silk dresses, although they knew that she's not having any, but still they keep on asking, commenting like that. Peggy, yeah, all silk, all colors, velvet too. She, now what she's saying, that yes, I'm having all colored, even velvet too. Okay, even velvet too. So these all answers were given by her. So this was the answer of her. Now what happened now? Then see, yeah, velvet too. When they are saying, okay, you are having silk also, you are having velvet also. So what is the answer of her? Yeah, velvet too. 100 dresses, Wanda would repeat stolidly, all lined up in my closet. Now she boldly all the times, she did not feel embarrassed while saying anything, because they were she knew they were making fun of her, but she has faced that situation boldly, courageously, and now she is announcing that yes, I am having velvet too and others too. And now you can't then what happened? So she would repeat like that, yes, I am having hundreds, and without any showing any sort of feeling of embarrassment, any sort of feeling or other feelings, or maybe any sort of feeling she did not show at that time when they were asking. Okay, all lined up in my closet. Yes, she is saying I am having 100 dresses, and you can watch you. So after getting the answer, they were satisfied, and then they let her go. So they only asked this much question, then they let her go. Okay, then you are having 100. So that became their point of discussion, their point of laughter when she spoke like that. And then before she would have gone very far, she could not help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. So when she had gone, and all these friends, Peggy and Maddie and other friends, they used to laugh, they used to cry badly, they used to shout, and they used to laugh badly over the thing that she is saying 100 dresses, is that possible? So this was a matter of their laughter daily. 100 dresses? Obviously, the only dress Wanda has was the blue one she wore every day. So she did say that she had 100. What a story! So according to them, it was a story. So they knew she always made a story, and then also they keep on asking, how many dresses do you have? Now she's saying now what Peggy or other girls are saying, that she always says she's having 100 dresses. If she's having 100 dresses, then why don't she wear this old faded dress? How many? Another question of there. What was their question? Another day they asked like that, how many shoes did you say you had? 60 pairs, all lined up in my closet. So another question they asked, do you have how many pair of shoes do you have? And she said that she's having 60 pairs. So that was again a matter of discussion, matter of laughter of them. So cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this all alike. So these all girls, they made commented, yes, you are having 60 pairs and all are alike, all are same. So now what was the girl's answer? Oh no, every pair is different, all colors, all lined up. So what was the answer of this girl? Wanda, she said, no, I don't having the same colored shoes, even I have different colors one. So this way she is being bullied by this girl, but she faced boldly. She did not say anything. She did not show any reaction of her, that how she was feeling at that moment when these girls were talking. So now Peggy, who had thought up this game, and mastermind was Peggy. It was Peggy who all the time she thought this game of making fun of this girl Wanda, and Maddie, because she was her friend, her inseparable friend, so fast, so close friend she was, that she didn't want to be separated from Peggy. So they were always there. She was always with her to accompany her. Finally, Wanda would move up the street, her eyes dull and her mouth closed, hitching up her left shoulder. Okay, hitching is lifting. So shoulder every now and then in the funny way she had finishing the walk to school alone. Now after being bullied by these girls, she did not show any sign of any guilt, any anxiety, or nothing was shown. She went from there. After answering all the questions boldly, she went from there. So now Peggy was not really cruel. Actually, Peggy, who was the mastermind of this game, she was not as bad. She was not cruel. Actually, she protected. Why she was not cruel? She protected small children from bullies. It was her quality. She all the time she used to protect the children from being bullied. Okay, she was such a girl. But now here in case of Wanda, she is doing something different, and she cries for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. Even she felt so bad on the mistreatment of the animals that she cried for many hours if she saw any such incident. But here in the case of Wanda, it was different. If anybody had said to her, don't you think that it is cruel to treat Wanda? So anybody if asks that you never do any cruelty to anyone and you are treating badly to Wanda, so it's not that cruel way, it's not that bad way. And what was the answer of Peggy? She would have been very surprised. Cruel, she said. How cruel it is? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? Now why she's giving explanation of why she teased this girl. She's saying she always say 100 dresses, but anybody could tell that this is lie, that she was speaking a lie. I know she's speaking a lie. You also know she's speaking a lie. If to a liar girl I'm talking like that, so what is wrong in that? Why did she want to lie? And why hasn't just she an ordinary person else? Why did she have a name like that? Anyway, they never made her cry. Now this is their quality here. Now they made fun of her. They knew she is a liar girl, but they never made fun of her. Is this line, if you can see, they never made fun of her. They never made her cry. They made fun of her, but to that limit that she does not weep over that, she does not cry over that. So this is their quality, that they are making fun of her, but to that certain limit, because they knew she should not be hurt that much that she start crying. As for Maddie, the business for asking Wanda every day how many dresses, how many hats, and how many this and that was bothering her. So now this is about Maddie. It was Peggy. Peggy was, although she was a naughty girl, but she was a good girl also. Actually, she was good to the children, to animals. But in case of Wanda, there was some problem. So now about Maddie. Now Maddie, this girl, though her business of asking Wanda every day, asking her for hats, for shoes, for anything else, so she was bothering her. She did not like that way of Peggy or by other children. Maddie was poor herself. Why she did not feel good when Wanda was being asked like such questions? Because she herself was poor, but she usually wore sometimes hand me down clothes, made by some clothes, even old clothes she was wearing, which were stitched properly. Thank goodness she did not live on Bogin House or some other funny name. They was stitched properly, and she remained neat and clean, though she was also poor, but she never showed that to her classmates. So, and moreover, she did not have a funny name also, and she did not live such a poor place like Bogin Heights also. So these things made something positive for her in the class, that other children do not make fun of her. So now sometimes when Peggy was asking Wanda those questions, so when at the time of Peggy, when although she did not feel good when questions were being asked from Wanda about her dresses, about her shoes, but when questions were being asked, mocking polite voice, Maddie felt embarrassed and studied the marbles in the palm of her hand, rolling them around and saying nothing herself. Though everyone is commenting on, when everyone was commenting on Vanda, she saw it silently. She did not feel good. She did not want to do that, but she did not say anything to stop them. She, when her physical, also, if you see that physically also she was disturbed, mentally she was disturbed when she's rubbing her palms, or her mind was disturbed when she saw such condition of Vanda, because she herself was poor, and she always feel, if anyone tease me, how I would be feeling. But she did not say it. She did not defend the girl. She did not try to stop other girls. She did not do anything at that time. Not that she'd feel sorry for Vanda exactly. It was not that because she was feeling bad for Vanda. It was not that reason. Not for Vanda exactly. She would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy had not invented the dresses game, because Peggy was her best friend and she was from a good family, and it was the game made by her. She would not have talked with Vanda anymore, but because Peggy invented this game, and now, but suppose Peggy and all other started in her in on her next. Now, she always imagined why she felt bad, that if Peggy or other friends of her, they started commenting over her, how she will be feeling, how she will stop them. She was not as poor as Wanda, because Wanda was very poor. Okay, she was having one dress, but her condition was a little bit more, a little bit good than that girl. So she was not as poor as Wanda perhaps, but she was poor. Though she was not as poor as Wanda, but actually she was poor girl, and of course she would have more sense than to say that she had 100 dresses. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Petronsky. Though she's saying, though she was not as poor as Wanda was, her condition is better than her, but still she was not so duffer. So duffer, according to her, that girl was a duffer girl who who spoke lie like that. She's having a 100 dresses. She's saying, I'm not that that girl, that liar sort of girl, that I will say that 100 dresses. But still she was afraid that if anyone start commending over her for her dress or for any other reason, she will not feel good at that moment. Okay, now let's start with the next slide. Today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda, and she worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. Now, because now see, as I told you in the beginning in the video, that the person who is being bullied, he also is mentally tortured, but the persons who are watching it or who are doing it, okay, they are also mentally tortured at that moment. So you can see the condition of this girl here, Maddie. So what is happening her? Absent-mindedly she is doing her work.
Okay, though she is doing her work, she's good in studies, but she's absent-minded at the time when the studies are going on, because her mind is all the time working upon Wanda, that if she comes, then Peggy again will start making fun of her. So she's not able to concentrate. 8 times 8, let's see. She wished that she had the nerve to write Peggy a note, because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy to say, "Hey Peg, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has." Now she thought, because she's absent-minded in the moment and she's feeling bad, she wanted the girls to stop this. So what she thought, that she will write on a page a note, she will write to Peggy, because she don't have the courage to face stop Peggy for that, for not bullying this girl. So she thought that she will be writing a page for her note for her, because she know that if she never would be having the courage, because she didn't have the courage, she doesn't want to lose her friendship with Peggy. If she is not feeling will not feel good for that advice, so she may stop being friend with her. So she doesn't want to don't have the courage to do that. So she thought she will be writing to Peggy, and she will ask that stop asking her such questions, such stupid questions. When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Now, this was done when her classwork was done. So she thought that she will write this note and she will give to Peggy. Suddenly, she paused and shuddered. Now, suddenly what happened? Something came in her mind. She stopped, she paused, she stopped that. She just hesitated over the condition that if she gave that note to her, what will happen? She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. So, what imagination was coming to her mind? That she's asked Peggy, and Peggy stopped making comments over this girl Wanda, and all other children now have made their next prey, they have made to her, to made to Maddie. So now she will be the next prey if they stop commenting over her. So Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say that it was the one, Peggy's old one, that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with trimmings. In no one in the room 13 would recognize it. What was the reason why she did not have the courage? What she thought, that if she told, if such questions are asked, will be asked to her, that from where have you brought this dress, and if this reason is revealed, that my old dress is the dress, or my dress is the old dress of Peggy, which my mother got for some work, and she had tried to hide the old dress by making some trimmings, by making some changes in the dress, so that no one can identify that whose dress it was. So she does not want to become the prey of these girls. So she stopped there only. She did not give that note to Peggy now. If only Peggy would decide on her own accord. On her own accord is on her own wish. Now she dropped the idea. She's saying, no, I will not give this slip to her. Let Peggy drop the idea on her own wish. She should stop having fun with Wanda. Oh well, Maddie ran her and hand through her short blonde hair, as though blonde hair is golden in color. So Maddie, who was having the blonde hair, as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away. So she just this uncomfortable thought which was coming to her mind, that she should stop Peggy, that came out of her mind, and she dropped the idea. What difference did I make? Slowly Maddie tore into bits. So she tore that page which she wrote, the note she had started. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. In the room number 13, she was the most favorite girl of the children, Peggy, and she was her best friend, and she does not want to lose friendship. She does not want to be separated from Peggy, and Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought, saying, if I stop her to do that thing, so maybe time will come when she will not be friend with me, and she will comment over me also, and she does not want that situation for her. So she dropped the idea to stop her. She thought that let her Peggy herself think that she should stopped it, and then only the things will be changing. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived up on the Bogginsheim. Now here, then about Wanda here. She was just some girl who lived up on the Boggins house because she was living on a place which was poor in condition. So she stood alone in the schoolyard. She scarcely ever said anything to anybody. She never talked to anyone. She did not have any friends. She did not have anyone with whom she could talk. So all the time she was alone. The only time she talked in the school was the yard about 100 dresses. Maddie remembered her telling about one of her dress, pale blue with colored trimmings, and she remembered another that was brilliantly jungle green with a red sash. You would look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said, and pretended in a fake admiration, in a praise. Now the girls, because they used to make fun of her, and this girl Wanda has told so many dresses, so many colors of her dresses. Like she told, like she is having a blue color dress, green color dress. So all were told to these girls, and they all the times they make fun of her, that you are having this blue colors dress, and that green color you may have been looking like a Christmas tree. So they used to, just like they were praising her dress, but actually they were not praising her dress. They were making fun of this girl, that you may be looking like that in that blue dress or in that green dress. So this way they were making fun. Thinking about Wanda, her 100 dresses, 68 all lined up in closet. Dresses. This is printing mistake. 100 dresses all lined up in the closet. Okay. Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest for girls. This contest consists of designing dresses, and for boys designing motorboats. So now this way the days were going on, and Wanda was talking about 100 dresses. This is so all lined up in the closet. She'd always used to talk about her dresses. So Maggie began to wonder who was going to win. Now day came when there was a drawing and coloring contest in the school. Okay, so there was a drawing and coloring contest in the school. So all the girls concentrated towards that. All the girls and all the boys, they concentrated towards that competition. For some time they forgot Wanda. So the girls had the contest consisted of designing dresses. Okay, so they got the contest of designing dresses, girls. And boys, they were having the contest of designing motorboats. So probably Peggy would win the girls medal, and Peggy was very great artist. So all the girls thought that it will be only Peggy who will be winning the medal. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room. At least that is what everybody thought. So all thought that because Peggy is a great artist, she will be winning this contest. So it was decided prior hand. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's head, so that you could almost tell who it was. She was so good in sketching that she could draw the picture of any star or any other person, and exactly she made the same picture. Oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win, and Maddie was also her friend. She was sure that it will be Peggy who will be winning the contest, and tomorrow teacher was going to announce the winners, then they would know. So the day came when the contest was done, and the day came when tomorrow, the next day, the result was going to be announced. So now what result was announced? Next day it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy they hurried to school. So next day when it was drizzling, it was raining, and they went to school, and under Peggy's umbrella, Peggy was having umbrella, and she also Maddie, because she always remained with her. So naturally on a day like that, they did not wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of the Oliver Street, the street that far away under the railroad tracks up the hill led to Boggins High. So this is the place where school is situated, corner of Oliver Street. So naturally it was a day of contest. Now they did not wait for Wanda. So they went to they went inside the school. They forgot the Boggins High. They forgot everything for this time, because they were curious to know the result, and they may be late because for waiting for the Wanda. So they stopped this. Today was important day of the result, so they wanted to go away hurriedly to classroom and wanted to know the result. Do you think Miss Mason will announce the winners today? Asked Peggy. So Peggy was very curious because she was very sure that she will win. Oh, I hope so. Minute we get in, said Maddie. Of course you will win, Peg. Hope so, said Peggy eagerly. And Maddie also, she encouraged her that it will be you only who will win. Peg, she used to say her Peg. And then minute they entered the school, when they entered the school, they stopped short and gasped. There was drawing all over the room, on every ledge and window sill. There was a, now when they entered the room, there were drawings made by a lot of drawings were there, which were hanging on the window sill, on every ledge, in every corner of the room. These drawings were hanging, dazzling colors and brilliant. And these drawings were not made by them, actually these were beautiful drawings, brilliantly colored drawings, which were made by someone. Lavish designs were made over them, all drawing on great sheet or wrapping paper. Most have been 100 or of them, all lined up. And see, these were the 100 dresses which were being made, and 100 dresses, who maybe 100 dresses is referred here. 100 dresses were drew by someone, and these were hanging on the walls of the room. So they were surprised to see so beautiful dresses hanging on the wall. Not only one painting or two paintings by someone, it's made all 100 dresses all together. Beautiful paintings were hanging over there. They were surprised because it was only Wanda who talked about 100 dresses. So they were surprised, they were shocked that what this happened, has Wanda made all these drawing. So there must be the drawing for the contest. Everybody stopped and wished or murmured admiringly. So all were, though they were not speaking openly that these were so nice, but their eyes, their physical appearance was telling, their movement were telling that they were too much surprised, and they were praising the girl who has made all these dresses. And it was no one else, it was Wanda who has made all these 100 dresses. So now, as soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. So now when the class assembled in the room, Miss Mason, their class teacher, she announced the result. Jack Beggar had won. Begless has won for boys. It was Jack who won for boys, the prize for boys. And she said now her design for outboard motor, for making the outboard motor, that boy has got the prize. So it was room number 12 where the boys had the class. Along with the sketches, all other boys sketches were hanging, but it was only one boy, Jack Begless, who has won the prize for them. Then for girls, what she announced, although just one or two sketches were submitted by most, one girl and room number 13 should be proud of her. Now what she is saying, that though in room number 13 from girls only one or two paintings are made by other girls, but whereas this one girl only, Wanda, it was Wanda who has made 100 designs, and all different and beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of the drawing is worthy of the winning. The prize is, I am happy to say that Wanda Petronsky is the winner of the gold medal. Now what the teacher is saying, that though all the 100 dresses are so beautiful, they all are worthy of the prizes, but because we have to select one or we have to select one winner, so now she is announcing that it is Wanda Petronsky who has made all these beautiful paintings, and all are worthy of the prize. So she is given the this prize, this gold medal goes to Wanda. This is announced by the teacher. So now unfortunately, so it was a shock for other girls because they used to mock over her, and she always talked about 100 dresses, and these 100 dresses were nothing else, dear friends. These were the paintings she talked, because they made fun of her, and she said, I have 100 dresses. So from that time only, maybe she made up her mind that she will be making 100 dresses, though not real, but she will be making the paintings of these. So she may be quietly making all these paintings at the moment when they were making fun of her. Unfortunately, Wanda was absent from the school from some days and is not here to receive the applause, the praise that is due to her. Let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Not now. You may file around the room quietly. Look at her exquisite drawings. Now Now this girl, the teacher is announcing that this girl Vanda is not there though, but these are all drawings. You can watch over her these beautiful paintings, and for prize we'll be calling her any other day and we'll be giving the prize to her. Then children burst into applause. Now it was not a burst of laughter, they were bursting into applause, into praise. All were praising, every eye was praising the work of Vanda, and even the boys were glad to have the chance to stem on the floor, put their fingers in their mouth and whistle, though they were not interested in the dresses. Though the boys were not, never, they are not but interested in the dresses, but still they whistled, they praised the girl for having such beautiful drawing. Look, Peg, whispered Maddie, there is one blue one she told us about. Isn't it beautiful? Because Vanda, she always talked about that I have blue colored dress, I have green colored dress, which they made fun, like you may be looking like a Christmas tree in that green dress. So these dresses she always used to talk. She was not speaking a lie. Actually, she was making painting of those dresses to avoid such embarrassing situation. So now she's asking her that, see, this is a beautiful dress, and this is what she talked about. This, yes, said Peggy, and here that green one, boy, and I thought I could draw. Now she's saying, now Peggy is also praising. Now she's not feeling bad for this Vanda, this girl. She's saying, I wish I could also draw like this girl, how she beautifully she had drew the paintings, and both were praising. So now everyone, the caliber, the quality of Vanda has come in front of every child, that what dresses she used to talk about, maybe it was dresses were the paintings. Though she was poor, she didn't have those many dresses, so she made her paintings to as her dresses, so to show, to avoid that embarrassment in front of the class that she didn't have anything. So she may be talking about those paintings at that moment when she was talking about the dresses. So now she is not here, Vanda is not there, Vanda so she has gone somewhere. We'll read out in part 2 of this chapter, that where she has gone and what happened to her and what will be her reaction after she will get to know that she is selected, or anything else, or in her life will come to know in the chapter. Okay, that's over. I hope you understood the chapter well.